Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day two, the top eight of the Star Wars CCG World Championships. As always, I am Dan Tartaglione, also known as D Tartaglione. Coming to me, joining me today is the.
Thrawn 3661, Brad Ryan.
Your microphone's not working, so give me a second. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, it's not on.
So that would help.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Well,
Thrawn
hold on.
3661.
1 second.
Mic check.
Okay, there we go.
All
You
right,
should be
Brad
working.
Reinhold. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're very excited to bring this to you.
Yoink. And so we got an exciting top eight. So what are our matches, Mr. Chris Schoenthal?
So I have Brian Mischke against Ryan Jellison.
Okay.
Can they hear me? I don't think they can hear me. Probably should reset.
Brian Mischke versus Ryan Jellison.
Batmouse against Brian Fred.
Batmouse versus Brian Fred.
Okay.
Hayes and Joe.
Hayes and Joe.
Oh.
Conceded.
Joe just conceded.
And Casey versus Joe.
And Casey versus Chew.
I'm thinking KC versus Chew.
I think that'd be exciting.
That's a different one, yeah. We're gonna get Apollo Chew. He came over, he ran over and was like all excited to get his dad on stream. So we're gonna do that.
We can definitely do that for you, man.
So it is going to be Johnny Chew, one of the greatest of all time,
Absolutely.
versus Casey Annis. Casey again is the 3 seed in the top 8. Johnny, I believe, is
He's in the bottom four.
He is in the bottom four.
So Casey will pick sides first.
Yes, and that's the important thing. Like it really doesn't matter. Like once we get in, it doesn't matter like what seed you are. It's just
And you may be wondering, like, why does it matter who goes first on picking the side? But in all honesty, this game is half mental. So, like, if you lose the first game by a significant amount, it's really hard to come back and figure out a way to really dominate in the second game to make up for that differential. So, a lot of it's how you lead off with your first game and how that goes. If it's close, anything can happen in the second game. But if it's a blowout, you're pretty much done.
And somebody who has made a top 8 himself, Brad Reinhold, will actually know about that. So, like, you made a few top 8s.
3.
I thought it was like 4.
I made a World's Top 8 back in
Okay.
2001, and I made 2 Top 8s last year.
That's right. So, yep, we got a nice, exciting game today. Definitely excited to see what's going to happen. Again, let's see what the decks our players are on. Again, we have Johnny Chew versus Casey. So I definitely
Who do you like for this?
Huh?
Who do you like for this? What are they playing?
I actually don't know, but we have a man on the inside here.
What?
Okay.
Tell us what Johnny's playing.
For Dark, I think he's playing an Endor operation, something like Endor.
Okay.
And then for Light, he's playing a hidden base deck.
Do you know if he's playing TTO or actual indoor operations?
Is he running
the Death Star? I don't think so.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's different.
I like Ominous Rumors a lot. That's a good card.
Yeah. Like I like the ability for him to flip. He limits his opponents. So
Oh yeah,
one
limit
destiny.
to one destiny. That's
Definitely a good matchup. So, I mean, you can go watch if you want. Are you going to play in the constellation?
Yeah.
What are you playing in the constellation?
Same thing, just playing the same thing as during yesterday.
Hey, what did your brother play?
Same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
To clarify, not the same thing as me. Same thing he played yesterday.
Okay. Should be fun.
I like the accuracy. Thank you.
Okay. And we also will have on Sam's stream Mischke versus Ryan Jellison. So unfortunately, the only game we're not streaming today in the first round is the Batmouse versus Brian Fred. So I believe the players are assembling here momentarily. We did have word that Joe and Hayes played, and that Joe conceded to Hayes.
Yeah.
So they're teammates. So and we want to see that. I think Joe wants to see Hayes try to have a chance. So.
I just need an us question, real quick.
Okay. So.
Does everyone else know that Joe conceded?
Yeah, I think they will. So, I mean, being that they played each other, I think it's it was going to come out that way, just because they are teammates, and Joe has won 2 world championships and Hayes has not. So I think they really want to get Hayes his first world championship, and he's got a good chance today. I definitely think it's going to be a fun match.
I disagree. My dad's gonna win.
Okay. I mean, I will say this. I think I said a couple days ago that it was going to be Johnny Chu versus Hayes in the final.
Or before that.
I could see it. So
I think my dad thinks that he's the one to beat.
that's fair. Okay, so we do have Casey on stream already. Looks like Casey is going to go with his dark side. So let's go ahead.
And Casey may be ascribing to that theory that I mentioned about trying to get the epic win in first.
Yeah.
Play your stronger deck first. Get some momentum. Really put the pedal to the metal. But I mean, it is with Johnny Chu, so mind games. It's gonna be hard. Yeah. I mean, this is like one of the best players of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, and as we just learned that Johnny is playing hidden base. It's a deck that he's really good with. He's played it a lot.
I'm gonna go ask Casey what he's playing.
Okay. Okay. And depending on what Casey's playing, like if he's playing a hunt down or something of that nature, then it's going to be a little bit difficult. Like it really is. This is going to come down to this is going to be an interesting match based on like the hidden base aspect. So let me update our top 8 on the scroll. I wouldn't be surprised to see an 8-card hunt down. I believe Casey played hunt down yesterday. But I, for one, thinking that you're playing against Johnny Chu, and you have to put we know that he played like a hunt down or a hidden base esque deck yesterday. I don't know if you would. I would start with the hunt down.
Did they know who they were? Did anyone know who they were playing last night?
This morning, yeah, nobody knew who they were playing last night. All they knew is what they wanted to play, and then they built the decks. So
Yeah, my dad was looking at
They're having a good conversation, so I'm not gonna interrupt them at this point.
okay, so who's Mishki playing? Ryan Jelson.
Yep.
Okay, let me pull.
I know Ryan is playing. We have a plan today.
I was gonna say I heard he was playing We Have a Plan.
Yeah.
Like that's a little bit of a surprise to me.
And before the tournament today, we talked about WAP, and everybody was like, "Nobody will play WAP.
Nobody will
It's
play
not
WAP."
a good deck." And I'm like, "Hey, it does a lot of damage. That's good in match play." Everybody's like, "No." Good on Ryan.
Yeah. I mean, he played Watch Your Step yesterday.
Yeah.
So, and Ryan's one of those players who he can play almost anything, and you can't really put him on anything.
Right. He's a very good player.
And personally, I'm glad to see that he is not playing Batmouse.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
Those guys are good friends.
they are
and,
really good friends.
and I know they would hate to knock one of the other one out at this point in the tournament. Round 2, yeah, I could see it, but like this early on, it would probably not feel great. What is Casey playing? I can't see.
I'm not sure. Give me
What?
1 second.
Okay.
I'm just updating our little scroll saying who is playing who. Oh no, Casey's 3 seed. This is our 5 seed, Johnny Chu. Hope if I spelled his name right. And then our 4 seed, Hayes Hunter versus the 6 seed of Joe Olson. He advances. Okay. So, yeah, we still don't know what Casey's playing.
Casey is slow rolling the information.
Yeah. And we see that Johnny has he's already put out his starting stuff. Like, we see a new secret base, we see the objective, we see we didn't hit it, and Walkling.
And Johnny has just cut, and Casey has still not revealed what he's playing.
I know. Casey's just like,
screw you, Johnny Chu. And now he's on his phone. This is great.
well, I mean, it hasn't started yet.
I know. And he's not actually required to reveal what he's playing until the match starts.
Yes.
Looks like a hunt down.
That's not that.
Oh, if it's hunt down, I don't like. Yep, we have hunt down versus hidden base.
I do not like this.
That's
for
not
Casey.
going to go well.
That's not good for Casey.
Like that. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, this was the thing I was afraid of here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excuse me, Apollo. I'm just gonna go close the door so that way they don't hear us.
Will it be Jury Juice Hunt Down? Jury Juice Hunt Down actually has a little bit better shot because you get the client going and you get extra ping damage. Also depends if he's got 2 battlegrounds and search and destroy. That's a possibility for
Yeah.
Hunt Down. There are ways that Hunt Down can actually make the match a lot closer. So Casey has some options. It just depends on what he did to build his deck.
Yeah, but if it's it looks like it's a 12 card.
Yeah.
Just based on what he's put out.
You can still play a second battleground. You can play the downtown plaza, and you can play the blockade flagship hallway.
Well, I got egg on my face.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Thank you. Yeah, this could be extremely one-sided, and
one of the other things about hidden base and match play is you cannot draw up.
Yeah.
So if Johnny's got a recursion engine, or let's say Luke that retrieves one a turn, and he can turn off Visage, that could be really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I played that deck yesterday with a room for me. I played 5 shifts, and I still got.
Yeah. We had you on stream, and I felt bad putting on a stream just because it was that matchup.
No,
But did you enjoy yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited to play in the Constellation today?
Definitely.
That's what matters. But we are still sitting here waiting for the event to start. Again, the top 8 consists of Mishki versus Jelson, Howard versus Fred. That's going to be a very talkative match. Like that might just go to time just because they're going to sit there and talk the entire time.
I don't know. Batmouse is here to do a job. Is the kind of the mindset he's been on all weekend.
That's true. I mean, once he got in yesterday at like 7 a.m., man went to work. He lost his first game and then just won all the next 7.
Yeah. Also, they have extra time on day 2, so it is theoretically harder to go to time. It's possible.
Yeah, but I know that Brian Fred likes to talk. Like
He
he's
does.
one of those players who just like he's relaxed and everything.
Reminds me of somebody at a regional playing ROPS last year on stream.
We don't like to talk about that. Let's see.
Our man Dan was playing ROPS against mains and decided to have a walking conversation with a random guy while the game was going on and wasn't playing for about half the game. And then wondered why it went to time.
You better go sign up for the Constellation. Yeah, he was playing ISP. Thank you, Tom. Wow. Since we've introduced these team squadron game, Batmouse has won all 3. That's impressive.
That is impressive. Most impressive. To name a card. Now, one of the other factors that is in Casey's favor in this matchup, and there aren't many, but one that is is that Johnny is going to have to lose force early to Visage unless he cancels it. And depending on how Johnny loses force, that could be very bad.
Okay, here we go. Johnny with the first turn all wings report in, indicating he's playing some sort of like non-unique X-wing. I like it.
HBX?
Why not? Like,
I mean, he only did really well with that the entire time the
no,
game was going on.
no,
back
we
in the
don't
day.
have X-wings. We have arc fighters.
Oh, wow.
Even better.
So he's got the automatic pilot probably then.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we have someone over here who's like confirming everything in the deck. This is great.
Probably a couple hyper escapes, probably
Huh?
a couple hit and
Dark
runs.
Fiction better.
What's his dark side? Oh, you said the EOPs.
Endor ops.
Uh-oh.
That's right, what he said. Yeah, Weather Vane is really nice. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Hyperwave Scan does make it a little bit more awkward for hidden base, but it only affects one site.
Looks like he's gonna shift his hand.
So he is doing the 12 card hand. He threw away You Are Beaten. So, yeah, that's one thing. Like,
So he probably played You Are Beaten to get I Am Your Father,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what that gets.
Like,
And
I
then
feel
you
like
set up the Vader.
I do feel like if you're Casey here, you want to go as fast as you can.
Oh,
you want to
absolutely.
get set up to one of your sites. You want to start doing as much drain damage as you can, because you know once Johnny flips, you're not going to be doing almost any drain damage unless, like you said, he's got the hyperwave scan or overseeing it personally virtual.
Yeah.
Like those are two cards that really will mess up Johnny a little bit.
Yeah.
Real question is how many sites does he play?
That's the big thing. Okay, Vonnie going down to the Holo Theater. I noticed that Casey was forced to play with the regular Holo Theater, as he does have a legal AI that was gifted to him a couple years ago. But they on stream.
Is this Hunt MV?
Sorry?
Is this Hunt MV or not?
No, this is regular Hunt Down.
Oh wow, that's great.
Hidden base versus Hunt Down.
It's not gonna go well for Casey.
No.
This is gonna get completely trampled over.
And then we also have last year's world champ, Justin Desai, standing behind us watching the game.
Big welcome to Justin.
Casey pulling the secret plan shield, that makes sense. But big surprise seeing the Arc fighters as the big force of this deck from Johnny.
Well, I mean, JNat played that last year in the OCS and was terrorizing people until Joe put a stop to it with AOBS.
Yeah, I also Clay played it too.
Yeah, Clay did play it.
Yeah.
He beat me with that deck like just like this.
Okay, under Johnny's turn right now. Just looking at what he's got, I'm seeing a lot of interesting stuff. Like I saw the automatic pilot in there.
Yeah. He's probably got 2 hit and runs, I would guess. Well, at least one, right?
I think I saw a Bargwin as well.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
Baragwin is great. It's extra retrieval.
It's like it's one of his signature cards.
Yeah.
That is what
No, it's his signature card.
I'd say so.
Okay. Goes ahead and gives himself Nar Shaddaa. I think, yep, there's the Camino system.
What do you think? 2 hyper escapes? I think 2 hyper escapes, maybe 3.
Well, we know that he's playing the It Can Wait as well.
Of course.
Like
5 of it.
Yeah.
5 It Can Waits from the mouth of Apollo Chew.
And it will come down to what Casey decides to grab as far as like if he gets any advantage.
I think the best thing he can do is grab it and wait.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. We saw that you grabbed it yesterday against him in the match on stream, and I think a lot of people agreed with you. Grabbing it can wait was really important there.
Yeah. Because otherwise you just never get anything through because you got the weather vane getting the cards back.
Mm-hmm. And 3 out of the 3 systems so far for Johnny, so not a bad start at all. See that he's got a We Wish to Board at Once, a few ships, and I want to say I can't tell what that last card is, but it did look like a green card.
Yeah, We Wish to Board at Once is actually a really great card in that deck because it can get Obi-Wan and Radiant 7 as well as all the effects, and it can cycle for free.
Okay.
Visage might be really important in this game. I think if Casey were to even have a chance, it would just be because of Visage.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it's good. This is essentially it's an uphill battle in some ways for Casey. And being that he is playing against Johnny Chu, who plays hidden base like no other person out there.
And has for 20-something years.
Yeah. Okay, there goes an Ellis Hellrot off the top for Casey.
That's probably
Blank
not going to
card.
make a single
Yeah.
bean of difference in this game.
Yeah, my dad always says that he loves playing decks that makes everyone all hit like 30 of his cards blank cards because they don't do anything.
Yep.
Yep.
Like Force Field, you're not gonna need that. Like
We say the same thing.
yeah, Force Field, Ellis, any Clash,
Yep.
any ground tricks. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's a blank like 3.
We already saw that Johnny lost an escape pod combo as well as a Wedge Antilles in Red Squadron 1.
Those cards probably have minimal impact in this game.
Yeah. There comes Vader down to the castle.
I think Johnny's just going to lose from hand pretty much the entire game. He's just going to draw cards and lose from hand.
Yeah. And
because he can't afford to lose off the top because so with hidden base you have so many moving parts and everything like that. If you lose a system off the top early or something like that, it can be really bad, especially if you lose your hidden base. That's how you lose.
Yeah.
True.
Kel mentioned that Tatooine was his hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and it's going to be interesting to see if he does play any more than 5 systems because with the ability to pull a system from the objective, pulling a system from the effect, that's really good for him.
Yeah.
I think he must play more than just. I think he must play more than 5. Cause I know there's also a castle in there. I assume.
I think what I landed on in my version was 7 systems because you get like typically 1 or 2 in your opening hand and you can flip a lot faster. You don't even need all your systems. You just need your hidden base and 5. 4.
That's true. Okay, so it looks like Casey has gone into his deploy phase, or I'm sorry, into his draw phase as he just plays Point Man to put a card back, get a card out of his deck, and we do have a check of the questions from. Looks like Greg Zinn is checking out something.
And it looks like Casey still does not have a battleground.
Mm-mm.
He's got something in his hands. He's got his sight.
I think what happened was he activated it and then just grabbed it with the Point Man, so that way he knew he had it for his next turn. But being
That seems risky considering he played the Vader that turn too. Like,
yeah,
why would you do that if you know you've got to get into the card that you need to win the game?
exactly.
Like, there's no advantage to playing Vader there. What are you going to do, drain for 1? He's going to play an N1 Starfighter and then play Coward. So, Vader's not going to do a hill of beans.
And when Starfighter doesn't have defense on it, right?
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny plays Rebel Fleet here soon.
Oh, yeah.
That's another good one. Like if the ability to cancel your opponent's force drains when they're only able to drain twice is insane. Okay, Johnny lost a Vonnie.
Well, I mean, you already canceled 2 with the objective, but I would play 2 Rebel Fleet, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we saw Johnny lost a Red Squadron X-Wing. Casey lost Vonnie to the Visage Ping.
Why play more than 1 Vonnie?
That way you can get them. So Vonnie gets you the Mustafar sight, so that way you can pull Darth Vader.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, this also looks similar to the deck that Johnny played last year. Is that accurate, Apollo?
Yeah, actually, he so on Friday he was planning on playing 0 hour, but it didn't go well on the team tournament.
Yeah.
So he decided to switch to hidden base, which is the only other deck he had made. It was from last year. We hadn't even touched it.
Okay.
He's made like 8 changes and then just brought it to Worlds after not playing it for a year.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, there's 2 more systems coming down, so you got to assume the flip's coming soon.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see him at least flip on Casey's next turn, just so that way he causes the pay 1 to draw 1 effect.
Yeah.
Better go. They're starting soon. 10:30. Good
Does
luck.
it start at 11?
It starts at 10:30, I think. So a little bit of insight from Apollo Chu there. Casey playing his Death Star Sentry Shield.
It's probably a smart play. But Johnny can just deploy wherever he wants to pretty safely, especially with all the evasion he's got. So that's not going to do a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's a wasted pool, but...
Well, like, it's... I would have waited to pull that until you're ready to go down to space, and he's going to maybe rebeat you. But, like, I wouldn't really be worried about a rebeat on an Emperor and Shuttle from a bunch of N1 starfighters.
Yeah, especially when we know that Johnny's playing It Can Wait, he's playing Hyperscapes, he's playing all that stuff to get around it.
Yeah, there's no point.
Okay, Casey does get his downtown plaza out, so...
The other advantage to playing a lot of systems is it makes it a lot harder to figure out which is the hidden base system, unless you're just dumb lucky.
I mean, we've all seen the player who props down a hidden base, or they flip over, and then your opponent drops down their ship, turn 1, probes, and oh, you luckily got it. But yeah, playing more and having the ability to give your opponent more choices should just increase the odds.
Yeah. Johnny with a couple of ships up here. Casey still no battleground. Now he's activating. Hopefully we'll see a battleground here for Casey.
That's another good point, Ketwall. Yeah, the fact that he's got the 4 shields out right now with no battle order kind of can hurt, but I'm just thinking that Casey is thinking Johnny's going to end up pulling battle plan.
Why would Johnny pull battle plan? He drains infinitely more in space.
Exactly.
And he has to pay infinitely less than Casey does. Like, Casey has to pay 3 to drain for 2 or 3, depending if he's got Virgins or cancels the drain or Rebel Fleet or any number of things. While Johnny has to pay, I don't know, like 15 to drain for 1-1-1-1 or 2-2-2-2-2. You don't think so, Ketwell?
I think Ketwell's agreeing with you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He may have. I didn't catch it if he did.
Seeing it.
He may have.
I mean, that would explain why his grabber is sideways instead of vertical. Yeah. Bill Kafer is in the chat watching along. Bill, who made it into the play-in game yesterday, had to face off against a teammate.
Thanks, Ketwell. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh. Casey, I'm assuming Casey's going to get out the downtown plaza here, move Vader over, allow himself to be flipped, and then only Johnny will take damage from Visage. Yeah. And once Casey's flipped...
Because that absolutely has to happen for Casey for him to have a shot, even any shot.
And once, even if Johnny gets out Luke, like he won't be able to force train there, so he's probably going to put Luke maybe at like Tatooine,
Yeah.
just because it's like the lowest impact of all the.
It's also the safest system because
Yeah.
Emperor and Shuttle can't get around it. Pretty much the only thing he's got to get around it would be Maul Sith Infiltrator.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to stack both your ships at one system to get a fight off against Luke. That seems unwise when
Yeah.
you're trying to probe.
And there's the hyperwave scan.
Okay. That's very good for Casey.
Blast doors controls. Again, I'm not necessarily a big fan of that card here. Okay, here we go. Emperor Shuttle going down to Camino. There's the first. It can wait.
Not going to grab it.
Not gonna grab it. Yeah.
He may be worried about it could be worse and stuff like that.
That's fair. Johnny pulls his goldenrod shield.
I just can't help but feeling this is like a turn too slow for Casey,
Mm-hmm.
even with all this.
Like I feel like yeah, I agree. Like I feel like he needed to get out his Vader as soon as he could,
Yeah.
and it just took him a little too long.
Well, he needed to get the battleground and the Vader, right?
Okay, Maul Sith Infiltrator going down to Camino. I don't remember seeing a Darth Maul in his hand, but he comes down with Grand Moff Tarkin.
And we'll see what happens here.
Again, Johnny's not flipped, so he won't be able to probe, but a battle here wouldn't be bad. Casey draws a 5 for Destiny.
And that's power 11 against an N1 starfighter, so he has to.
Yep, he loses 2.
Yep.
Yeah, that seemed a little rushed from Casey. And it really just depends on how many cards that Johnny has in his hands. And from what we see, I only see saw one starfighter.
I'll be honest with you, I like this move by Casey because like he's already so far behind the 8 ball. His only opportunity is to get around that it could wait
Mm-hmm.
because he already burned the 3 forces turn, and now that was his opening. So I really like this play from Casey. Now he transfers over Vader, flips the objective. Now he's only going to be pinging Chew, so that's very good. And he satisfies battle plan.
And
he's
there's
only
the
getting
battle
drained
order.
and he's only getting drained for 1, and there's battle order. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Johnny only has 4 cards in his hand right now.
That's awkward for Johnny because Johnny's been losing from hand the whole game. Casey drawing a big hand. One of the downsides to hidden base is how many icons he gives up. Like he gives your opponent so many resources.
Notice we don't see a Kessel in this deck from Johnny Chu.
Do we not see it, or we just not see it now?
We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Like I don't think he's flipped yet, so I mean he can still play it.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he's definitely not flipped. Yeah, I agree. Like Tarkin covers 6, and the M1 deck isn't known for really battling very well. Like it's pretty much evade, avoid, and hope they don't have space.
And like it was pointed out, Johnny only has a 4-card hand. We only saw one starship in there. So,
I agree. I agree. If Johnny doesn't have out of commission, this could go the other way. I mean, looking at this matchup from the get-go, I wouldn't have favored Casey, but Casey is doing a great job of playing right now.
It's like almost Casey has experience with SpaceX.
Almost like that.
I mean, I know 2 years ago when he made his previous top 8, he played EOPs.
Yeah.
So,
And Casey's an old schooler. He's been playing a long time.
mhm.
I doubt there's that many tricks that Johnny knows that he doesn't know as well. How Johnny does them is a whole different ballgame. But yeah. How are the other matchups going? Do we know?
It was
You want me to go check?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, if we could keep up with the other matches, that would be amazing. So yeah, we'll keep up with them. I got Brad.
Oh, he's here? Okay.
Yeah, he just ran inside to check on the other matches.
Okay.
You're not playing with the Constellation?
No, I'm gonna head back around like noon. Want to get back before my kid goes to bed?
Let me give you the slips. Well, let me after this match. We'll run upstairs and I'll grab them upstairs and grab them. Okay, Johnny coming down with that starfighter that we just see in his hand. He does move over the other starfighter to, I want to say it's Malachor. So right now he's got Malachor and Nar Shaddaa covered. But again, Casey going to Camino and going to Cloud City. I mean, now he's draining for 5 this turn.
And Casey also still has the shuttle too, because he
Uh,
got AK weighted.
Yeah, hold on. Good point there. Good point there, Tom. As I believe that Greg Zinn is currently our man on the spot, but I guess at this point it went a little too far. So yeah, good point there, Tom. We'll get it next time.
So just a quick update. Brian Fred and Batmouse are early on in the game. Brian Fred has a battleship in space against Y40 Jedi bus. So Tehao would be very good for Brian Fred right now, but I didn't see one.
Is it invasion?
I did not see an invasion card.
But he has a battleship. What?
Might have been invasion. I don't know. I didn't get a really good look at it, but yeah. I didn't see an invasion card though.
And then again, our other game, the Brian Mishke versus Ryan Jelson game, is being streamed currently on Sam Tashima's website or Twitch account, which is twitch.tv/Yoshi_13. So yeah, Casey just does 5 points of damage. He also goes and gets the first strike. I'm not the biggest fan of getting first strike here.
Yeah.
Like we know that he can deploy the Emperor's shuttle this turn, but you got to think Johnny's going to have something. Like he's representing for something here. But if Casey's able to say drop down the shuttle, battle with it, and then Johnny has to hyper escape, at least you're doing 1 point of damage and retrieving one.
Yep. And also, this hidden base deck doesn't do a lot of attacking.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a fairly safe play from... Okay, so it's going to cancel the drain at Camino. Vader's going to get through the drain because of Hyperwave Scan.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. It has to be Rebel starships to hyperscape, correct?
I don't. Does it?
Uh, that's a good question. We have in the chat saying that you can't hyperscape.
I don't know why. It just says move a starship. I think. I'm not looking at the card, so I don't know.
Yeah, if a battle was just initiated in any system or sector, move all your starships and vehicle there away.
Yeah. That's why Johnny's going to play cards like Hit and Run, because Hit and Run has no canceller other than Sense,
Mm-hmm.
and it just moves after the weapons phase.
There goes we wish to board it once.
It's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. No, Blast Door cancels stuff on the ground typically and barrier.
Yeah.
Like it's Narrow Escape, Blast Door Kid, and barrier. Get combo can cancel Hyperscape, yeah. I I think Casey might have one get combo.
I would say, yeah, I would agree.
Space Blast Door controls. That would be cool.
Wouldn't that? So that would be like the giant shield in Spaceballs,
I think so.
where they just open it up.
Yeah. And the vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another It Can Wait from Johnny Chu. And I think Casey's just like, man, I should have grabbed that. He probes Camino. Oh, you're kidding. He hits it
On the
first.
first?
Wow.
How the heck do you do that? Jedi mind games here, folks. You're seeing it live.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. Not that it mattered too much because of the Hyperweave scan, but that Drina 2 in space is going to get real annoying real quick.
Yeah. Like, Johnny's going to have to do something about that drain into space now.
Because Casey's doing a ton of damage.
Yeah. And he doesn't have to pay for any of it.
Correct. Meanwhile, Johnny's
And there's Darth Maul
Maul.
onto the Sith Infiltrator. So now, I mean, even though he cloaks for 2,
Yep.
you're draining for 3 on the ground. Like, that's...
I don't think you cloak. You just
I don't
move in
think you
front
do
fight.
either.
Because your power's 6. You're immune to attrition. And like it's just not in your in Chu's advantage to fight that.
Mm-hmm.
For the record, I think most people going into a top 8 with Johnny Chu would have Hidden Base on their mind.
Yeah. I don't think there are any weapons for the Arc Starfighter.
No, there are not.
Like, and I know Design is not the biggest fans of Starship weapons.
For various reasons.
Yeah, a little bit.
Light side track beam, anybody? I can see it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see some weapons for some more. Some people. Thank you, Bill. You know what, Bill? Please make us some weapons for like the Arc Starfighter. Give us more Starship weapons.
Well, no, I don't want Arc Starfighter weapons, but there could be other weapons.
Tom with the no heard around the world.
Yes, sir. I think Tom and I had the same thing in mind.
Yeah, this game really changed really fast.
Yeah. I think Casey's just been baiting Johnny, to be honest with you, into the it can waits. Like he may have not grabbed it, just purposely trying to bait it out because it's another lost force every time, and Johnny's not retrieving anything at this point.
Yeah. And I did see a Weather Vane in his hand.
Yeah. But he's not really draining in a lot of places.
Yeah.
He's probably setting up to do that now.
And there's Leia going down in front of Vader. There's the weather vane.
Curious about the Leia.
Yeah.
This seems horrible.
He's got to do something.
Well, yeah, but putting a character on the ground against Huntdown? He's Johnny Shu. I just don't know.
Oh, he's got it's a trap is in hand, so that makes sense. Okay.
That makes sense.
Now, if Johnny has or if Casey has the Canceller, which I believe is Vader's Anger.
Yeah.
That might not be good.
And I think Huntdown plays at least one, if not two.
I know Batmouse's version had one.
I think Batmouse's version... Yeah, Batmouse's version had one. I had two.
Yeah. But I will say this, like, it almost feels like we're back in like the mid '90s with this matchup. Like, this is like super old school Star Wars. Like, I know there's a bunch of V cards on the table, but still, like, this is one of those.
Like as far as like what is happening, as far as the mechanics of what's happening goes, this is all original concepts.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, both these objectives came out in Special Edition.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I remember going to the game store and buying some boxes and pulling some.
That was a set that I didn't get a lot of myself.
Yeah.
Like, my family, for some reason, loved to get me Cloud City and Jabba's Palace.
Yeah.
So I've got a ton of that. But everything else I'm just like limited with. It's
honestly, I just like the cinematic images.
Yeah.
There's
Emperor
the
Shuttle.
Shuttle
Let's
again.
see.
No,
Third
it
time.
can wait.
Third time this game.
Is Johnny gonna it can wait the Emperor?
I think you.
I don't think he's got the it can wait.
Yeah. I think what he's doing right now is saving for the It's a Trap on the ground.
Yeah.
Which it feels like it's the right move, but you had to know it was coming down.
Correct. Which is the great part about First Strike. You have to make choices. Well, this is...
Ooh, Kylo Ren with lightsaber going down in front of Leia.
So even if he's got the even if he's got the It's a Trap right now, and that's great,
Yep.
he's got to do it again, because Leia has nowhere to go.
Yeah. Johnny with his aim high shield.
Johnny may just opt to do a Hoojix here. No, he would. I don't know. That's hard. Depends on what else he's got in his hand. Casey fighting in space first.
Yeah, I like the...
Force the issue.
Mm-hmm. He will retrieve one. Johnny loses a Red 7 to the First Strike ping. There goes the Starfighter. After Casey draws a 6. Casey retrieves another one. Yeah, I see It's a Trap. He's got the Hoj. It looks like it's got Hojix as well, but I also see Rey on the Jedi. So not the best situation for Johnny. And there's Vader's Anger.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, no response. Swings and hits Leia. There goes an X-wing off the top to Kylo or Vader.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they do.
He's probably gonna swing again.
Swing again.
Hit again.
Hit again. Lose another
one.
card. Leia's double hit.
I like the upside down double
Yeah.
hit. That's what I do.
That's the one thing. Like Johnny's a very fun guy.
Yeah.
Like he is all seriousness, but he is a fun player. Johnny draws a 6, and Casey draws the ninth sister. So there's the Hojix, and there goes Leia.
But you burned through the Hujix, you burned through the
Mhm.
Leia, you burned through the It's a Trap, you did a lot of force damage, you retrieved some force, burned some more cards, and now you just spread out in space. Yep.
Yeah, I like he. That's what he's gonna have to do is get rid of that Vader. There goes Luke off the top to the visage damage.
How's he going to get rid of Vader? He plays like 3 characters, maybe 4.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, he's got the Ray, all the Jedi in his hand.
Does he have a lightsaber?
I don't think so.
Does he have Destiny 6s?
Yeah, but he just drew one for Destiny.
Oh, okay. Well, if he tracks that around, plays a Ray, then he's good. What was the 6 he drew?
Fall of the Empire.
Fall of the Legend?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Fall of the Empire is not Destiny 6.
Yeah, that's the one.
Fall of the Emperor.
Yeah. Yeah. It would have to be Ray with the 6, like they were saying. I think he activates down. He does save one card, so I mean, this kind of tells me that we might see it this turn.
Yeah.
But
But
first things
Casey
first,
could
he's going to
have-
drain a little bit.
Casey could have a "You Are Beaten" or a "Sorry About the Mess" or "Sniper." Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing would be more awkward than Ray coming down. Here's Ray. Flip the Jedi. Flip the objective. Initiate the battle. Retrieve one, lose one, I'm sure. And Weather Vane. Johnny learning from last year where he learned he needed to actually play characters because he only played Luke and I think it was Luke last year. I think it was just Luke, in fact.
Yeah, I don't think that's enough in this matchup because we know.
Yeah.
Like-
Because I know Johnny lost one of his games at Worlds last year because he went against CCT with just Luke, the ability for Luke on the ground
Oh.
at Boba Fett because he didn't know about the Chancellor to the battle. And his
That's
opponent was just like,
rough.
I'll exchange for the Chancellor and then drop the world on you.
And I like the addition of the Leia Rebel Princess just in case he does see like CCT.
Well, I mean, I think it's more for bringing before me so that you've got a Leia to give him.
Yeah.
And she's arguably one of the best Leias.
Don't tell that to Kendall.
Why?
It's his least favorite card in the game. He's a court player.
Oh. Well, I knew that, but that's not a reason to not like a card.
Yeah.
He can use the card. In fact, I know I've seen him use the card at one point.
Yeah. But just because you don't like something doesn't mean you can't use it to
I know.
benefit you. In the sense of Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true.
Nothing else. Ray is hit.
Like Kindle's also perfectly fine playing other decks too if he ever wanted to.
Yeah. Like right now he's playing Bring It Before Me and Tig.
Yeah. Oof.
There goes Rey. There goes Vader.
Yep.
And there goes the X-Wings running away.
Johnny may be thinking right now that the best bet is to simply force him to lose to his own visage to more,
Mm-hmm.
as well as knocking out that drain, because that drain was getting really annoying.
Yeah.
We see a sniper off the top, I think. Because if you had that in hand, there's no point in not playing it against Rey.
Hey, Casey's just moving all of his stuff around a little bit.
Not going to draw any. Just loses one from hand to visage.
Yep.
Johnny draining for 2.
And there's Fall of the Legend. I believe that's Weather Vane.
Oddly enough, this has turned into a space drain game.
Yeah.
Johnny not doing a whole lot of damage at this point. Casey trying to bring it home, losing the minimal amount while keeping his differential as high as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Can you message Greg to get a life force count?
Yeah.
Johnny picking fights to do damage and retrieve force to reduce differential.
I do like that. Like making him lose just the 1 or 2 here and there.
Oh, I mean, that's
He
what you
needs to
do
get
in
as
match
close as
play,
he
right?
can. Now, if he would have been able to get the Rebel fleet out and start canceling the drains that way, that would have been good too.
It would have been. But he was under a lot of pressure very early. Well, not very early, but fairly early. And getting the hidden base probed right away did not help things.
Yeah.
There's a handshake.
So we have a total from game 1. So Casey is going to take game 1.
How much?
I don't know. I'll run inside.
Okay. I know. Yeah, Johnny playing some really good cards this weekend. The match is not over by any means. I think that was probably in the mid-teens because of all the damage that Johnny was able to pile on based on killing Vader and make him lose to Visage and then the couple of fights there at the end. So I think it was mid-teens, but we don't have an exact number yet. Your father lost, unfortunately. Well, we're still waiting to get all the data on what the numbers were.
I think he lost.
He lost by 18? 18? Okay.
Okay.
Guys, we have the word from Apollo.
Okay. So we have an
Full loss by
update.
18.
Johnny or Casey took game 1 by 18.
Yep.
Mishki is looking really good against Jelson.
Okay.
By I would say about he's got
Which side are they doing first?
Mishki's on dark side, Jelson's on light side, so it's EOPs versus WAP.
Interesting. And Mishki's doing okay?
Mishki's got it by right now by 10, 11.
Oh wow.
And then the Bat Mall, it's Bat 40, so
Yeah.
Y40 versus Invasion.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it is invasion.
Yes.
Okay, I just didn't see the objective.
Like, how did Ball lose? Like, Casey just got his base and.
So just to recap that game, uh, Casey got to the site pretty early.
Well, okay. Casey got to the site turn 3 with hyperwave scan, and he also probed the hidden base on his first try.
Oh, because it was just basically lucky.
Mm-hmm. And
He
yeah.
I don't know if it's luck or skill, because with hidden base, sometimes you can tell what the hidden base is depending on how they're playing, and also which systems they have. But
What was it in base?
Okay, so
hidden
we're
base
gonna
was, Camino.
we're gonna take a little short break as we wait for the next one. Uh, Casey played. It was a main stack. Yeah. He played the Endor Pyre deck. So I don't know if it was Let the Wookiee Wins or what, but it was definitely the Endor Pyre main stack.
Versus the Endor summons.
So we will be back after a short break with game 2. Casey on light side this time versus Johnny Chu on dark side.
looks like we have Endor
All right,
Pyre.
1 second.
We have Endor Pyre, played by the one, the only, the Casianas, versus Johnny Chu playing Endor Ops. Now, Johnny apparently is playing a regular flip version of Endor Ops, and in my experience, this is a horrible matchup for Endor Ops, because one of the things they rely on is Ominous Rumors, which is canceled by occupying or controlling 3 Endor sites. And they already provide you with 2. Pyre gives 1, so all you have to do is have a spy, and you pretty much cancel it. Because I'll be honest with you, it depends on what kind of ground package Johnny's got, but typically ground is where they tend to be weakest. They tend to be more of a space deck.
Now, I do know this. Like the deck that Johnny's playing, he's starting with any methods necessary, so he's getting the security tower plus Forlom.
Right, to get cycling going, get activation
Exactly.
going. That makes sense.
If this is the deck that I think it is, it plays Lord Mauls, it plays Phantom Menaces, it plays Choke Vader. The ground package isn't actually bad.
What does he do for space?
From what I've seen it go either 2 ways. You go, instead of starting Forlom, you start Boba Fett, get the Slave 1.
Well, he started Forlom, so how does the Forlom one go?
Yeah.
What does the Forlom one play for space?
So the Forlom version goes kind of light. It's mostly like the Onyx ties, Mara and ship.
So basically splash space.
People in ships. So it's
splash
like
space.
Exactly. So it's not the biggest space package.
That's probably a good choice.
Yeah, but it also runs tie cannons, which is I like the tie cannons in this meta.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. Yeah, Emperors and Emperor shuttles.
Yeah.
Like I played this version after Fox over in Europe.
Yeah.
He played this.
Okay.
And he actually won one of the regionals with it. So if it's
That's
something
cool.
similar to that deck,
okay.
I mean, it's not bad against mains.
Yeah.
Because if you get another system, once you like you said with Ominous Rumors with once you're flipped, you're able to drain for a lot in space.
One of the other nice things about getting the second system is you can also set up Imperial Decree to turn off those lightsabers, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got so many planet sites and you've got 2 systems, so it's not hard. And you give yourself a non-battleground planet site too to go hold.
Exactly. Yeah. You just hunker down to the bunker.
Yeah.
Get yourself an extra system or 2, put the Imperial Decree out, and you're doing decent.
Yeah.
Okay. So Johnny again going with the any method start. Casey on the other hand is going with the I must be allowed to speak, Walkling, and like my father did before me.
Yep.
So and this is the exact same. Casey's going with the exact same decks he played yesterday.
Okay. Well, I mean, when you know your decks really well, there's nothing wrong with playing your same deck. Most people try to switch it up a little bit, or at least one deck, but there's nothing wrong with playing it if you really feel it's the best deck and you've been performing really well with it.
And just as another update, we have Mishki winning game 1 against Jelson by 6. That
Close
was
game.
Agents of Black Sun versus WAP.
So I went in there and I listened to the conversation between Jellison and Mishki afterwards, and they both were commenting on how there was no overflow the entire game.
That's insane. I love that. They said there was a bunch of fighting, but there was no overflow.
Yeah.
And then as for the Brian Fred versus Batmouse game, that looks so tight. Like nobody's budging either way on that game.
Well, Batmouse is playing some tricks, and Brian Fred is playing some tricks. So.
Yeah. So it's really gonna be interesting to see. And I know
I saw Batmouse have Kit Fisto with a Jedi lightsaber, play Mace, transfer the lightsaber, play Lando, and kill them all.
Okay.
And then pull out a Gek, and then control the site, and then Brian Fred followed up with another Maul, and then place the effect out of play to get the saber back.
Okay. And again, I know that the new allies, they all agreed that they last night they said that Batmouse is going to play Sigfa.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see if they actually teched for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the biggest tech for the way Batmouse plays Sigfa is Ketwall, right?
I would say that's up there. Okay, Johnny getting out ominous rumors, Endor shield, and a blockade flagship bridge. So
Getting his activation going.
yeah, or that might not be. Is I can't tell if that's ominous rumors or the other effect.
It's
Um,
interesting race.
I'm sure.
there's an Admiral Oswald coming out. Yep, there's the Boba Fett. Yep. Yeah, this looks very similar to Fox's deck that
Yeah.
won the, I believe it was Rallitier Regionals.
Well, I mean, these decks never go away because we have all the decks on the website. So, I mean, when you're preparing for Worlds, you're welcome to look through any of the decks from any of the past years and see if something strikes your fancy and maybe update it some and go with that.
Yeah,
Some of the best decks have already been made. Nothing really new comes out unless a new card comes out.
exactly. So, there's the Forlom. Uh, Batmouse and B Fred might have just went to time.
Of course. Yeah, when I was in there, Brian Fred was putting on his show.
Okay, so we got the Endor shield. We got the Forlom already. Casey getting out the farm. So I think this matchup is definitely also is going to be dependent on who gets their activation out the earliest. Like we already saw that Johnny got out the bridge, he got out the security tower. Now, if Casey can get out a lot of his activation, that would be really good for him.
Yep.
I agree. Like I personally was putting Johnny on EOPs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you can really pigeonhole somebody like Johnny Chu.
No, except for hidden base.
That's not pigeonholing. He just likes the deck. There's a difference.
And let's see, Johnny pulled a card. Did not happen to see what it was.
I thought it was ominous rumors.
Yeah, just maybe cycling the ominous rumors or the
I mean, that's one of the great things about this build is that you can cycle the cards that you're pulling with your objective. Especially considering he can't stop him from canceling Ominous Rumors right now.
So what you're saying...
On the other side, you can't play Ominous Rumors if Casey occupies a site.
Take a picture of them and just let me know. Just whatever. We'll figure it out later.
See 3PO coming down.
Early 3PO plus the early JCC is pretty good.
If, like you were saying, this is a ground-heavy dark side deck, the activation that Casey is presenting right now is going to help out a lot. Especially this early. Because, I mean, one of the strengths of EOPs is until you play a second system, you're not really giving up a lot of icons.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Johnny's only getting 10 right now.
Yeah.
And Casey's only giving him 1.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty big. But on the flip side, Johnny's only giving 1 himself.
Correct.
So...
How many icons was Casey activating, Dan?
10.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Fair and balanced.
Yeah.
Just like you, Brad.
Exactly.
This could very well be retro because, I mean, first of all, we saw Hidden Base versus Hunt down in the last matchup. Now we
We've
have
been doing
10
that
on
for a while.
10. Like, the only way that this would be even better is if Casey was somehow playing Throne Room.
Well, that's basically what this is.
Yeah.
This is Throne Room with a little bit better synergy.
Okay, there's the Slave 1 coming down. Mithron Renudo going down to the bunker.
That seems like a good play.
Yeah, because there's the Ominous Rumors.
Yep.
And now with the Ominous Rumors, if he's got the established control, that's going to flip him. Or,
Yep.
sorry, the established secret base.
Yeah. Another question is going to be if Johnny is playing a second site.
I was going to say with the established secret base, you can.
Yeah.
But
it's not advisable.
I would not play it because you don't want you to allow Casey just to go down
and cancel
the Ominous Rumors.
On the other hand, you need activation, right?
True. But I mean, it is easy to flip this deck back by just going in and controlling the bunker.
Yeah.
With the established secret base going to the use pile.
I think it's going to come down to how many spies Casey plays.
Yeah.
Or if he gets a Nabron beat in. Although you cannot Nabron into the bunker, so.
Yeah.
Because you can only move to the bunker from the back door.
Just like in the movies.
Yep.
Okay.
How did he shuttle that up?
He deployed it at the...
he just deployed it up there instead of playing it to the other thing.
No. So he deployed Thrawn to the bunker, the Slave 1 to the docking bay.
And then just moved over and moved up.
over and up.
Okay.
Yeah. And now this establishes him to have a drain of 2 next turn.
Yeah.
So, but Casey going out and getting the Boss Nash Chamber. I wouldn't be surprised to see. I know that we see the Boss Nash Chamber. I wouldn't be surprised to see the battle planes.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're playing Wisas, you usually play both.
Mm-hmm.
You don't always, but you usually play both. Especially if you're playing limited number of battlegrounds already.
Yeah.
Like with Speak, you get the use pile pulls, but that's not really enough to win a drain race. So you need the battle planes most of the time.
We might have another update.
Are you guys still like live and chatting on channel even when there's no game, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, that's all. Someone was asking about the stream and they said there's no game, but let me see if they're.
Ah.
That's all.
So here we go to Casey's turn. And I think I see a Chewy Protector, Blaster Deflection. That is a weapon levitation.
Good card.
That would have been a good card for Batmouse today.
What happened in the time game? Do we know?
I don't think it hasn't gone to time yet.
Oh, it hadn't gone to time yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jared
Can you go
was
check
just
on that?
asking. Yeah, if you want to go check on that'd be great. Yeah, we definitely want to keep an eye on all the other two matches that are going on in this top 8 round. Again, Hayes Hunter advanced out of the top 8. Joe Olson conceded to him. In the other match, Brian Mischke won by 6 in game 1. And then as for the Batmouse versus Brian Fred game, we still don't have a winner. And again, if Casey wins this, so let me think. Yeah, we don't know any of the other matches. Again, all we do know is that Hayes Hunter advanced to the top 4. This is his second top 4, as he recently won the U.S. Nationals out in Minnesota, defeating Charlie Arlinson to win that one. Casey playing scanner techs onto the farm, so that way Johnny can't limit him there. He can initiate for free. All sorts of good stuff. But nope, I think he takes it back. However, yeah, that's a good point. If Casey wins, this will be the first year we would have a first-time winner in a long time. As last year we had Justin Desai win. He became the second three-time winner. Before that, it was Joe Olson going back to back. And then before that, it was Bastian Winkelhaus winning in Germany and then winning in the last time we were at Morristown. Same hotel, actually. So Bastian should have been here defending his Morristown title. Yes, Joe won in 2020 and 2021. Justin Desai won in 2022. And Bastian Winkelhaus won in 2018 and 2019. And then again, Worlds next year will be in Bochum, Germany. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping to be there. I don't care about playing, and well, I do care about playing at this point, but it's more along the lines of I just want to be out there to visit all the Europeans and see what kind of show they put on. Casey does get out Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. As well as the lightsaber. He will recirculate and pass her over to Johnny. I believe she just 3POs during Johnny's activate phase. And let's see, Casey going to go out and get a shield. We see that he has the grabber shield already, so yep, there's his battle plan. Yeah, I think this deck normally runs at least one Grievous because you play Admiral Ozzel, you play Thrawn, so that way you can play the Imperial Command. It just fits in some ways. And being that Casey is only running the Like My Father Before Me here, if Johnny was able to steal that lightsaber, that might be a little detrimental to Casey. And even though Johnny is down by 20, I'm sorry, 18, he's still not out of it. I mean, we've seen it where players come back from 20, 21, like 20 in the low 20s, high 20s from their differential. So don't count out Mr. Chu. Okay, Johnny, there's the Phantom Menace going down. So we might see a Lord Maul with lightsaber going down in front of Luke Skywalker. No, we have a Darth Maul with double-bladed lightsaber going down. Maul is fully immune. And defense value +2. Luke is immune to attrition less than 7. And defense value 7. Johnny deciding this is the time, this is the point that he wants to make his move against Casey. And interesting to see the Darth Maul with double-bladed lightsaber. Don't see a lot of those outside of Hunt Down. And there's Count Dooku going down as well. We saw that Johnny had the Force Lightning, so he's probably going to use to decrease the defense value of Luke here. Casey thinking about what he can do here. There's the Force Lightning. Yep. See. Yep. There you go, Bastion. Shock, Blast Deflection, and Clash. Those are both really big cards. Yeah. So you Blast or Deflection the first swing, Clash the Maul on the second one, and go after Dooku. I like it. Casey does grab the Force Lightning.
Matt Mills took it by 27.
So, big update in game one.
Bat Mouse takes it by 27
That's huge.
against Invasion
That's
with 0 loss pile.
Oh!
And Brian had the throne room the entire game.
That's 27. 0 loss pile.
I think that's impressive any day.
Yeah.
What's happened here?
So, we have Johnny came down with Maul, double-bladed lightsaber, and Force and Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Force, and then he came down with Dooku. Force Lightning on Luke.
Okay.
Nothing since. Casey did grab the Force Lightning.
Okay.
You sure it was 27? Because Jared's saying time win by 14.
He just counted out like 28 or 27 or something. That's weird. Let me. Did they do it versus like how many Brian Fred had? Okay, Bat Mouse had
27. How much did B Fred have?
I don't know, but that would be the math difference. So it'd be 13.
Whatever. It's the difference between the two.
Okay, then it'd be 13.
So Bat Mouse by 14 with 0 in lost pile.
Yeah. Sorry. I haven't had a time game in a
Still
while.
impressive.
Yeah, still very impressive.
Now the question is, what's going to happen in Game 2? Game 2 is the big one. Okay, so no battle. Yeah, oh yeah. Hey, I'm just relaying information.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't had a time game on a day 2 in a while. I didn't know that
Yeah.
rule.
But yes, 27 versus 14 is way different.
Yeah.
However, Batmouse having 0 loss pile to Brian Fred's 28.
Yeah, that's not good for Brian.
Yeah.
Batmouse did have a lot of cards out of play, though. That's one of the benefits of
Yeah,
White
good.
40.
Yeah, I was gonna say, good thing we don't count out of play cards.
Well, you do for tiebreakers.
So we saw Leia, General Leia coming down, Solo coming down, Chewie Protector coming down. And getting 2 2 use pile pools off of that too.
Yeah. I wonder how much Johnny tested this matchup, because usually going to the farm is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Looks like a bionic
And
hand.
we have a Sando Aqua monster and the Bionic Hand on Luke.
I like the Sando here. That pretty much invalidates everything that Endor Operations does.
Yeah. And there's the scanner text.
And draw their fire.
Draw their fire on. I don't know if that's on the Sando or from hand.
That's true.
Yeah, because he just puts it right on top of the Sando.
Yeah.
I did just text Greg just to double check this, making sure. Okay. He does move it, and he puts a 5 on Sando. That's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, it is a bit of a difference.
Takes the card, so he does initiate. Takes the card off the top. Johnny will lose. Tarkin off the top. Casey doesn't retrieve any. Maul is not in this fight. And again, Force Lightning is grabbed. Blaster deflection on the Dooku. I mean, Casey's getting 2 Destiny here.
Yeah. Well, Johnny's got a lot of forfeit.
Yeah. Yeah, especially now that he force fielded the lightsaber swing. Yep, Casey's ditches Luke's lightsaber to grab the Clash back.
That seems questionable.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to ensure that Luke never dies?
Yeah, I was gonna say like
against Johnny Chu.
Well, he does have a blaster deflection in his hand.
That's right now.
But yeah,
like you got to think more strategically.
I do agree. Takes a card off of Sando, draws a 7 for the second Destiny.
Well, that's impressive.
Johnny draws a 5.
Okay. So
I don't think Johnny has a Gick.
He might not have thought he needed one.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see a Gick in his hand. So that's 6, 11 for Johnny to 4, 10, 14.
I mean, he's got a lot of forfeit and a lot of power.
He's only got 11.
He's got 2 characters in a Destiny 4, right?
No. 1 character, Dooku.
Oh, just Dooku in a Destiny 4?
And he drew 5.
Oh, okay.
So it's 11.
It's 11 versus like 5 guys? Or 3 guys?
So Luke with Saber and Bionic Hand, so it's an 8.
Yeah, it's game.
Johnny concedes. Casey will advance. We have our second player. So this does guarantee we will have our first time world champ this year.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because no repeats.
No repeat champion this year.
That's impressive.
It's Hayes, Casey. Then we have Ryan Jelson versus Mishke.
Yeah.
Batmouse versus Brian Fred.
Yeah.
So let's go get Casey on this.
I'll go get Casey.
You want to interview him or you want me to?
Well, you saw the game.
Yeah.
I was checking
Yeah.
out other people.
Okay.
So,
We're going to grab Casey after this one. So Casey advances. So, kind of an upset. Like, don't get me wrong. Casey's a good player, but Johnny Chu is Johnny Chu. But yeah, Casey advances over Johnny. I definitely want to talk to him about that first game, the hunt down versus hidden base. Not a matchup that a lot of people thought was going to go Casey's way, but definitely an exciting match. Yeah, and Johnny not having the gick there, like he played a little bit risky. Casey had the answers in his hands, like playing the clash, making it so Johnny didn't want to initiate, and then Casey going down with Leia, Solo, and Chewie Protector, getting 2 Battle Destinies, having the answers was just really big. So we have 2 of our top 4, Hayes Hunter and Casey Honest. So now the question is, will it be Brian Mishke making his second ever World's Top 4, Ryan Jelson advancing to the top 4 in one of our other top 8 matches? Will it be Brian Fred getting over that hump and progressing, or will it be the first time kid Batmouse? Like, he's having one heck of a year. He's currently in the lead for Player of the Year points. He's made 2 top 4s back to back. This has been one heck of a year, and I'm loving it. Like, I'm ecstatic on what is going on. So let's go ahead and get Casey in here. 18 overflow in that. That's insane. So, can you give him your headset?
And just which side? So just put it on like this.
Yep, and then pull that down, and you're good to go.
Okay. Can I put it like around the back of my head so I'm doing the Lobot cosplay, or like?
That would be cool.
I don't think it would work. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
How does it feel to get into the top 4?
Feels fantastic. I've been to the top 8. This is my 3rd time, but first time making it through to the top 4.
And you had to get past Johnny Chu. Like, going into the first game, what was your mindset playing, knowing that you had to play Johnny?
I was thinking about where I was going to go to lunch after I lost.
That's a good. I like that. And then him flipping over hidden base, you're playing hunt down. What was your game plan?
So my first thought was I was in trouble because I only had the one battleground site.
Mm-hmm.
I did have Scanner Text, which is a new card from set 21, which really helps in the matchup. It means that he can't cancel my Force Drains at the Cloud City site with Hidden Base. I also have better space in my Hunt Down deck than traditionally most Hunt Downs have had. I didn't know what kind of build of Hidden Base he was using. If he had Starship weapons, for example, like X-Wing Laser Cannon, I would have been in a lot of trouble. I also got lucky in that the first system I probed turned out to be the Hidden Base system.
Yeah, like what? So I noticed that you went down. So you went down with first with the Emperor's Shuttle. He played It Can Wait. He didn't have the Force for any second one. So then you went down with the Maul Sith Infiltrator, followed up by Grand Moff Tarkin. Once you went down there and were able to, 1, remove him from Kamino, and 2, just sit there for your few turns, what was going through your mind?
So after I removed him from Kamino, after I saw the It Can Wait, that made me think, okay, this is not your traditional lots of power, lots of battle tricks, hidden base. This is, non-unique, drop and drain. He doesn't want to pick fights, even in space. and I might be able to have some staying power here.
So he came down with Leia. He came down with like Rey to clear off Vader. Once you were flipped back, you didn't have ground. Was your goal just like just try and fight him in space, trying to like drain him in space as much as you could?
By the time he cleared Vader, um, it was pretty clear that I was going to win the game. It was just a question of how much. I think I had about 26
Mm-hmm.
at that point, and he wasn't really doing any damage in space by then because I was covering his drains. But by clearing Vader, he flipped me back, um, and by moving in front of him, he was able to battle me and make me take first strike damage. He was able to retrieve a little bit, drag the game out longer. He got me down from 26 to I think 18,
Mm-hmm.
which is credit to Johnny Chu. He's a fantastic player. That's exactly what he does. Um, and that was a great play. I wasn't expecting to see Rey out of the deck.
Mm-hmm.
He told me later that he actually had more characters than that. He just didn't draw any. The only character he drew
Yeah.
in that game was Leia, who can't battle. He had the
Yeah.
sixes tracked around for Vader, but Leia can't battle when Huntdown's flipped. So
Yeah. So, and then in game two, you're up by 18. What was your mindset going into that game when he flipped over EOPs?
So I had no idea what kind of build of the deck he was playing. When he showed the objective, my first thought was he's probably playing TTO. He wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when he pulled Established Secret Base, I said, okay, he's just playing like a solid flip version.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he forlombed and pulled Established Secret Base the second time, I said, okay, he's not flipping. He's just using it as forlom fodder.
Mm-hmm.
And then he flipped. So, I really didn't know what to expect from that point. I knew that I just had to get the diff down as long as I could cover a win by 18.
Mm-hmm.
My goal was to set up home one in Akbar, and I had a really tough time
Okay.
finding Akbar. I had no activation in my opening hand. I had 3PO, but I had to dig for the Jedi Council Chamber in my force pile the 1st turn, so I couldn't even play 3PO the first turn. I knew that the key cards in that matchup were trying to find space and trying to find Sando so I could get around his Destiny limiting.
Yes. Yeah, and we noticed so he comes down with Maul, the Phantom Menace, and Dooku. Like all you had was Luke. What were you worried about that at all, or?
So I had Clash and I had Blaster Deflection.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt pretty comfortable there. Um, I had the counter beat squad in my hand, as you saw. He only had force for 2 characters, so I was pretty comfortable that if one of them was EPP Maul, I could clash him. Obviously if it was like Vader Betrayer or something, I would just clash the other character, whoever it was.
Yeah.
What I was concerned about was if he had sense for the blaster deflection, then things could get bad. But as long as he didn't have 3 lightsaber swings, so I could clash one guy, deflect one,
Yeah.
and then, and if I lost Luke, I had a second one in my hand. It wasn't the worst thing in the world.
So I did notice that after you clashed and you initiated after dropping Leia, Solo, Chewie, Draw Their Fire, and Sando, you initiated, you got the clash back, but you ditched the lightsaber. What made you decide to do that?
At that point, it was clear that I wasn't losing Luke in that battle.
Okay.
And I was going to have I would have had to forfeit one character. I would have had a huge stack left over. So he was probably not going to go back. Even if he had the Gick, he was probably not going to go back to that site. So Luke was probably safe there, and I wasn't going to need the second lightsaber.
And then you ended up he force fielded the swing, but you still did 18 in overflow. Like no Gick. Were you tracking that 7?
No.
So the 7 was blind. It was the 5 blind as well.
The 5 was on Sando, but it was blind on Sando.
Okay, that's what. Yeah. So now you got to wait to see who you play. I believe right now we're still waiting on the results from Mishki and Jellison. Mishki ended up winning game 1 by 6, and then we're also waiting on the results from Brian Fred and Batmouse. Batmouse won his first game on a time win by 14.
Okay. Am I correct that the bracket doesn't reseed, so I would play the winner of the Batmouse game?
No one knows.
How'd you
No.
do? How'd you do?
He played Joe,
Right. Obviously.
Yeah, so right now it's you and Hayes advancing into the top 4. So you right now I believe that if Hayes wins, if Mishki wins, he has to face off against Hayes. I believe if Jelson wins, he has to be the winner of that. So you will face either the winner of Brian Fred or Batmouse. Who do you want to see?
Neither of them. They're both great players. You can't really dodge people in the top 8.
No, you can't, unfortunately.
I do want to say to Tom in the chat, yes, Johnny had the force push in that battle, and his plan was to force push Dooku out of the battle, and Draw Their Fire stopped that from happening.
Wow. Did you have to dig for the Draw Their Fire, or did you have it in your hand?
I had the Draw Their Fire. I think. That turn I dug for Sando.
Okay.
And I dug for, I think,
because I know you had the blaster deflector in your hand.
Bionic Hand, maybe.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, Draw Their Fire. It was funny because when you played the Draw Their Fire, you put it right onto the Sando. And I'm just like, oh, is it on Sando? Is that the Destiny? But instead, it was just like, oh no, just move it a little bit.
There were just a lot of effects on table. I was trying not to double them up.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Okay, well, good luck on your next round. Again, you're waiting on the winner of Batmouse and Brian Fred.
All right, well, thank you, Dan.
I will say this, good luck, unless you're playing Batmouse.
Of course.
But no, good luck either way, man.
I'm
glad to see that you got past that hurdle. Because I know Bastion was yesterday was just like, Casey, he's 5-0.
Could we be real for a second?
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Batmouse to win the whole thing. Like, who isn't?
Hayes.
All right.
That's a good point.
I would honestly, there is nobody in this top 8 who I would be upset if they won. It's
no,
just
especially because right now it is, being that it's you and Hayes guaranteed in the top 4, Jelson, Mishki, B-Fred, and Batmouse. We will have our first world time champion in 5 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it had been that long.
Yeah.
So what I'd said to I want to give a shout out to Kyle Kruger who really helped me out with decks last night. What Kyle and I were talking about was we were happy with, if any of the top 8 had won, we'd have been happy, but we were saying if it had been Johnny or Joe again, we'd been happy for them, but it had been boring and we wish someone else got a chance. Yeah. And now the first 2 people out are the 2 former champs.
Yeah, which is kind of impressive.
We're gonna slide these guys on the stream. Is that cool?
Sorry?
Batman's for their game too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's get it.
Right now you said.
Yeah, we're interviewing, but yeah.
I'm gonna get out of here, but I would be thrilled with any of the 6 remaining players.
Same here.
All right, thank you, Dan.
Okay, so it looks like we're gonna get Batmouse and Brian Fred game 2 onto the stream as we have a moment's break. So good luck.
Can we try the Lobot thing quickly? See if that works.
Well, I mean.
I'm bald anyway. We just got the full Lobot
Okay.
cosplay.
I'm sorry, Bastion. You got me. Bastion says it's not been 5 years. It's been 3 years because when Joe won his first one in 2020. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, that's fair, but it's been a repeat in the last couple years, so it just feels longer because of COVID.
I think I pushed a button or something.
No, should be good.
Whatever this thing is.
Oh, that's the volume. So, yeah, we're gonna get Batmouse